Welcome to Deep Thought. Keep your ears to the streets. And this is in a way staying calm to see to the big picture, but this is another angle. This is just something you can do. Keep your ears to the streets. Because when I mean the streets though, I don't mean going out there and hanging out with some thugs or drug users or anything. Still pay attention to them anyway, but pay attention to them, but that's not what I mean. What I mean, keep your ears to the streets is, we got a lot of propaganda out there. When you be seeing news or you see people in power or, people trying to say, oh, this is it or something, no. Because I remember what a woman said. It was on one of my 1,000 jobs, right? This was on a summer job, and she was into fashion. And I never forget what she said. She said most of the fashion comes from the streets. If you really think about it, what a lot of people wear comes from the streets. Like when people are wearing their pants off their hips, I don't see that as much as I used to. But where did that come from? That came from the streets. That's just the fashion. Like, keep in mind, when I'm talking about the streets, what are people doing out here in the real world? Like on my main channel, when I'm talking about relationships, one of the things I say is, look, I'm always talking about what's going out here in the world. In fact, one of my nicknames is the Field Master, because I'm out in the field, Indeed, if you're like a sociologist or something, you wouldn't understand the term qualitative research, which is really just field research. Instead of just reading some books or something, or looking at some stats about maybe a subculture or something, or a group, a community, whatever, the sociologists, they would do qualitative research. They would actually go out there, wherever they have to go, whatever they talking about, they going out there, they keeping their ears to the streets. What I mean by keeping your ears to the streets is what's going out there. I don't care what someone says on some news program or even like one of these videos, because you see a lot of stuff even on social media, right? Social media now, you got a lot of news programs and they'll have somebody up there in a nice suit and everything trying to tell you something. Yeah, but sometimes the best thing to do is talk to people. It may be a barbershop or something. Like when I'm in a barbershop, I just be real quiet, just be listening to whatever they're talking about, If you're in a barbershop or you going into like some stores or something, and like one of the places I pay attention to a lot of little stuff, like how people dressing, what they into and everything, is a local flea market. And it's mostly poor folk that go in there, but they represent the streets. Now, this is not saying don't pay attention to what may be on a news program or a social media program with somebody with a nice suit and tie on, or, they dress nice and they have this expertise. It's just, I keep my eyes on both. Because remember in my last video, I said, stay calm to see the big picture. That's the big picture. Because you could have one thing happening at one level, like you have a lot of stuff that goes on at a higher level with better educated folk and more credentialed folk and all of that. But then what's happening in the world, the real world, might be something different. Might be something totally different. Like they could be talking about, like you have like some relationship experts and stuff, right? And they'll be doing like some stuff where they have maybe, I don't know, an event at some place. They had to pay money. They sitting on the stage and everything. Oh, okay, that's cool. But then what's happening out in the world? What's happening out in the streets? How they dealing with relationships. Also, too, remember I've talked about social class before. And one of the things that is presented at maybe online or something is maybe higher social classes, maybe at least educated, credentialed, like I was saying, right? Okay, that's fine, but then people at another class might do something different. You want to pay attention to them. Like you pay attention to all areas. It's part of being calm to see the big picture, keeping your ear to the streets. Okay, what they doing out here? You know, what they wearing their clothes like in this area. I don't know if they doing it in other areas, but one of the things that I'm noticing is a lot of people wearing pajama bottoms. That's a big thing. Now, I don't know if that's bigger. That's in the area I'm in. I'm noticing men and women, younger people especially, but men and women wearing like pajama bottoms. Now it might seem small or tiny, but it was like, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. They wearing it in this area. Now, I don't know. Y'all can tell me if they wearing it in other areas or something. But I'm still paying attention. You know, it might mean nothing, maybe just a local style, could be a national style, I don't know. But paying attention to it, you know? And if I drive out further from the area, I don't see it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's an area thing. But if I see it, I was like, okay. And it might seem small, but think about something. Whatever clothes people are wearing, that affects a bigger thing. That affects retail. That affects retail. Like spandex pants, right? Spandex pants. You got a lot of women wearing spandex pants. You got places that sell them. That's something to pay attention to. Like no matter what, like you pay attention to it. Like one of the things I like to do is watch college basketball. One of the things I noticed real well, a couple things I noticed. One, arenas aren't crowded like they used to. I'm like, oh, okay, that could be something bigger. Also, young men playing on the court, they ain't wearing high tops like they used to. Like 10 years ago, they all of them had their high tops and everything. They ain't basketball shoes, they just wearing like low tops now. And it, you know, you might think, okay, what's the big deal there? Well, hold up, that could affect the economy in some places, you know, because all of a sudden they got these high top shoes they not selling anymore, you know. But that's what they, you know, and that's what they, you know, might be at a certain level at the streets. You know, they not buying those things anymore. You know, you got a whole bunch of high tops and that's selling. Shoot. Yeah, there's some places that selling shoes without laces and everything. Yeah, I got a pair, you know, my son wants to get a pair. You know, it's like you pay attention, it could be something small. You know, what people eating. Like you got a lot of people like eating vegan food. You know, that's a street thing. That's a street thing. You pay attention to every little thing. That's keeping your ears to the streets, what they shoot, and literally what they're saying, what they're talking about. Because in the streets, in the world, they could be dealing with something different. Meanwhile, some experts might be talking about something else. It's very important to pay attention to everything, to see everything, you know? Pay attention, it might be small. I saw a symbol on a, I'm not even sure if that was it looked like a young man, but I saw a symbol and I looked it up right away. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, let me pay attention to that. I'll keep my eye out for it because it can mean something bigger. You know, when I see certain symbols and everything, I pay attention to it. You know, one thing I pay attention to, like even in these malls, you still got those stores that, you know, really apply to maybe golf. And I'm like, you know, no matter what stores are closing, you can find this in any mall. That's paying attention to the streets. What are they wearing? What are they eating? What are they talking about? What are they doing? Keep your ears to the streets. Because first of all, what they're doing even on social media, so like I said before, and I've always said, I'll keep saying, there's a lot of propaganda. But sometimes some stuff is happening on a different level, on different levels, you know? You know, pay attention to everything. You still pay attention to what's happening up there, but pay attention to what's happening down there as well, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. you know, I want y'all to think on this, all right? I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.